Because if you get dysentery, what? You've just lost the Oregon Trail and you are gonna die.
Loaded for bear, loaded for bear. He ain't got a reason, he ain't got a care, 'cause he's loaded for bear, loaded for bear.
Oh, hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for coming back to the lodge. I hope you've been surviving the apocalypse all right. I've been doing okay. Anyways, today what are we going to talk about? It's pretty important. I'll tell you what, I'm talking food. Yes, why is food so important? I don't know. Skip a couple of meals and see how you feel. Yeah, you're not going to be in a good spot. So I'm going to go over a couple of things. And like I said, y'all know me, right? I'm just a dummy. I'm an idiot. I got into this stuff because honestly, at the beginning of the year, the coronavirus scared the hell out of me. I was like, ooh, this is one of those things that could be bad. And turns out, yeah, this year's been pretty rough. And if you remember, in the beginning of the year, it was kind of scary because supply lines got muddled up. And though grocery stores never really went out with, never ran out of everything, there was that run on toilet paper where those shelves were just gone. Which, by the way, it's good to stock up on a little bit of ass wipe, but you can't eat that, all right? If anything, you want to be in a position where you have too much of the stuff that makes the shit instead of the stuff that cleans up the shit, because, newsflash, you can wipe your ass with a lot of things that's not toilet paper. I know, because I've been there before. Alright, I'm just saying, if you haven't ditched a pair of underpants at a Jet Oasis concert, have you even really partied? Alright, that's enough about that. So, I want to go over a little bit of food basics with everybody. You have your carbohydrates, your fats, and your proteins, alright? Those are your three big things that are going to fuel the body. Now, they all serve a purpose. I'm not going to go into it now, but just know this. Regardless of what kind of diet you have, right? And it doesn't matter if you're, gluten-free, vegan, or anything like that. I think, personally, you should have a good mix of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in your life for the majority of the population. Not a doctor, not an expert, but your body uses all three for very specific reasons. Plan on storing different kinds of all three of those things. If you're a man, you're going to need between, and this is roughly, right? Everybody's different. But if you're a man, you're going to need between 1,800 to 2,400 calories a day, and if you're a woman, maybe 1,600 to 2,400 calories a day. And I'm speaking in real general terms here. Depending on your physical activity, your size, and your metabolism, that can change wildly. But just plan that if you're not getting around that amount of calories in a day, even if you're not moving a lot, you can start to feel sluggish after a while. And in a survival situation, when you're low on calories and you get hazy, things can go bad quickly. If you've got a space you can kind of hunker down in, shelter up in your house, and you don't have to go anywhere, and you've got your pantries full, you can be all right on about, like I said, 1,600 for ladies to 1,800 for fellas. Just not doing much those days. Shuffle around with your flu robe on and just go, ooh, honey, it's burning around outside. I think we should eat light calories and read books or possibly play video games if your generator's still working. How much food should you have on hand? The government, federal government, recommends having 2 weeks of food ready to go. And I think that's fine. That's a good amount, especially if you look at situations like Katrina or other natural disasters we've had where eventually FEMA, the National Guard, and everybody gets involved. 2 weeks of food and water should get you to, a good spot. But I think if you're getting ready for the apocalypse, which is kind of what this show is all about, you're going to want to plan for much longer than that. I would say probably quadruple that minimum. So 2 weeks, I'd say closer to 8 weeks, maybe 2 months of just ready to go food at your place if you can. And if that sounds like a lot, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but check out your pantry right now. How many cans of whatever do you have just chilling that have been in there for years that you haven't eaten yet? That's stored food, whether you know it or not. I mean, it might not be what you want and you didn't plan it, but I guarantee a lot of people have more stored food than they think anyways. So, all right, let's get into it. First thing you can go with, and it doesn't last long, but I highly recommend it's what you keep on hand for the first week or two, and what you should eat the most, which is good old-fashioned fresh food, everybody. I know we all don't have thousands of dollars to go to Whole Foods and all the fancy markets and eat all the time. But honestly, if you can't buy organic or all that, I get it, right? But still, go to the healthy side of your grocery store and pick out fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, nice grains, and we'll get into grains later. And then I am a meat eater. Try and get, fresh meat, not frozen, and use that for a little while. And if you buy fresh, you can always freeze later. So consider that. I like to have, just quick snacks on hand, ready to go. And in a situation where you got to hunker down, these will be the first things you eat, and you're going to be all right for that first week or two. You're going to feel fine. Now, once you kind of get through your fresh stuff on hand, I think for a lot of us, the most practical thing is going to be dried goods and canned goods. And what do I mean by dried goods and canned goods? All right, something I have on hand, and I don't eat a ton of this, but it's dried beans. Beans are good because they're high in protein. They got fiber. They've got a lot of nutrition. They, as far as I can tell, last forever if they're dry. I mean, you got to soak them for 3 days, which is kind of a bitch if water's not on hand. But, I mean, yeah, dried beans are going to be something you can get a lot of for cheap, and they store for almost forever. So get to a Sam's Club, Costco, boom. Look at the size of that. That's 6 pounds of peanut butter. I have no idea. That's 85 servings at 210 calories a serving. I'm bad at math, but I'll tell you this much. 6 pounds of peanut butter will last you for a while. That's cheaper than dirt, by the way. Get a couple of those. Nuts, almonds, stuff like that. Canned beans, canned beets, but your vegetables, canned fruit, vegetables, fruits, stuff like that. That's going to help with the vitamins and the nutrition you need, right? Most canned foods are probably going to last 5 to 10 years, depending on the canning process. But the thing is, most canned food's going to last a lot longer than what the date says on the top. Now, a telltale sign that you got wonky food in a can is if you open it up and it smells weird, toss it, all right? You could get botulism or all kinds of bugs that might be growing in it. But if you open up a can and it's past its due date, but it smells and looks all right, chances are it's probably all right. In a survival situation where you're low on calories, I don't know. I'd say go for it, but it is dicey because if you get dysentery, what? You've just lost the Oregon Trail and you are going to die. You got soups, jar of peanuts. I like canned pastas because they're tasty and remind me of my youth. Something that's probably not popular for a lot of people, but canned meats. Canned chicken, Spam in a can, which is all kinds of different pig, and then they mold it together. I don't know. I got to tell you, I was lucky enough to go to Hawaii once when my father was stationed at Tripler. Yeah, it's Tripler. The pink hospital on the hill. I think it's Tripler. Anyways, I visited my pops out there, and the Hawaiians make Spam taste amazing. You fry it up with rice and eggs. It's real good. I mean, it is weird, but it's good. I don't know. I'll tell you this much. It's a lot of calories in a little can, and it'll keep you going. And it's got tons of salt. Salt's going to matter later. We are going to talk about salt. Uh-oh, this is a boring episode of Surviving the Apocalypse Blue. Hello, everybody. I don't want to talk about food. Canned meats. That's going to be a lot of protein that'll last you for a while. And I got to tell you, maybe it's because I have the palate of just a troglodyte, but I don't mind the taste of canned food, particularly canned meats. I don't go out of my way to have it all the time, and I sure as shit ain't taking dates out to eat out of cans unless they're super cool. Ladies, call me. If you like food out of a can, I'm your man. We got rice. You don't want to have oil on hand, right? You got your fats, you got your carbs, you got your proteins. Buy food you're gonna eat, all right? Don't go buying stuff you've never had before and then in the apocalypse be like, well, this sucks. Dried pasta, we got that. Jelly, corned beef hash, all right? It's not an apocalyptic thing, but if you don't have that on hand, get out of my life. Bouillon cubes, that's how you make water salty and chicken flavored. Kind of gross, weird. Canned fish, coffee. This is instant coffee just in case the bullshit really hits the fan and you can't grind it up. Not really for surviving purposes, but alcohol, probably good to have that on hand. That's calories, and if shit hits the fan, you might want a bottle. Though it's not great to think of food as a reward or a pleasure center, it can be, and it can be a treat. So, I always like to buy some treats. I got Pop-Tarts, because those are fun. I get Wild Berry because I truly think they're the only ones that are good. And brown cinnamon sugar is also okay. The Orient store, I got them koala bear cookies that got the strawberry. Oh, I love the koala bear cookies. These are big, so get those. So, these are all things you can get at your local grocery stores now. And I would say this, while you're going out right now, every time you go for groceries, just put like 4 or 5 extra things in and start building up your pantry now. That way, in a month or two when stuff might go down, you're oversupplied and ready to go. We good? All right, so now that we've got the conventional foods you can stock up on, I'm going to get into a little bit more of the wonky stuff. All right, so tear it down, tear it down. Last thing about canned food, right? Grab yourself a can opener. Otherwise, it is a hell of an effort to get inside one of those. If you want to take a step in the direction of having longer food, right? Food that'll last for more than 5 years, you can go with freeze-dried food. Tell you right now, it's kind of expensive as hell. You might have to dig up some gold bars in the backyard to buy some. But if you head to your local outdoor store or camping store, they do have a lot on hand for camping and hiking. And I do use these when I'm on the trail. So freeze-dried food, solid option. Buy a couple tubs of that and just put it somewhere safe and you're good to go. All right? That's simple, easy. Add it to the canned food stores. The final thing you can stock up on, and it's something my buddies in the military both love and hate. Mostly hate, but kind of love. Love, hate. They love, hate. It's the good old-fashioned military ration. And in the US of A, we got the MRE, right? That's your meal ready to eat. Brown bag lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever you want to call it. Now, the nice thing about an MRE is, much like canned food, it's ready to go. You open it, you can eat it. And then it also has the benefit of freeze-dried food where these puppies say they last like 5 to 10 years. I swear to God I have eaten some of these things that are 20 years old. I once opened up an MRE from like, I don't know, I opened it like 2 years ago, and it had a pack of Skittles that was promoting Jurassic Park: The Lost World. I don't know when that movie came out. It like late 90s? I don't know. When did that movie come out? I'll put it up, the release date over here. All I know is I ate that MRE in 2018, and those Skittles were printed during The Lost World. And I'll tell you this much, there's a fine MRE. These bad boys are pretty much, I don't know. I think they're tasty as well, as far as military food goes. Also, they come with these cool brown spoons, which I've been told by my friends in the military make everything taste at least 10% better. Other added benefits of the MRE, you can toss a couple of these in a backpack, a go bag, anything. You can buy these online. They're pretty expensive as well with the freeze-dried food. But if you think of it as an investment in the future for food, and food might be worth more than gold and as much as bullets in the future, having a couple of MREs might not be a bad way to go about it. We've gone over a lot, and I just want to leave you guys with this. Have food on hand, all right? In a survival situation, you're going to want to be able to feed yourself because you don't know when help's going to be coming, all right? So being prepared is going to be, a good option. Oh, shit. I completely forgot about this. In the event that you run out of your food stores, right? You don't have any fresh food, you don't have any canned food or dried food left, you're all out of freeze-dried, you're out of MREs, it is time to get yourself a get-up, right? You see what I'm talking about? Get yourself a nail bat and or some sort of shooter and find a local raider gang. And I gotta tell you, everybody, if humans kind of taste like pig, I don't mind bacon. I hope this has been fun. I hope you learned something. And until next time, everybody, keep your protein intake high and your weapons loaded. And you'll be all right because you're surviving the apocalypse with Lou. And you know what? I'm surviving it with you. Oh my God, I forgot. Jiffy Pop. You need to have Jiffy Pop. That is not negotiable, all right? It's fun and nutritious. All right, see y'all now.